So throughout college, I guess, I've done different like internships and volunteering and stuff. Volunteering with SciTrek and Health Professions Association, which is kind of just for like people interested in medicine. Persian student group. I did dance team. I worked at Little Caesars. I'm doing an internship that I've done for the past year basically. I'm like a health scholar. A personal care attendant for like basically the elderly, like in the elderly homes and stuff. I also worked as a program coordinator for SciTrek, Science Outreach Organization. Summer was like just really crazy because I was still doing like an internship. I wasn't working for SciTrek, but I was doing an internship with SciTrek, which is like researchy. And we were doing like kind of like weekly meetings and stuff like that. I also had classes in the summer. So I was like working because I really needed the money at the time. Like I couldn't pay for like summer classes as much. They didn't give as much like aid or as many loans. And my parents couldn't really help. So I needed a job kind of. And it was also kind of like a nurse-y type of job. So I figured it would help build my resume as well. You drive to different people's houses and then like wherever they need you kind of thing. So it was kind of like being on call. It was like, oh, today you're going here, you're going there. So I'd have to like drive 20 miles one day and then one day it's like 2 miles or something like that. So I never really knew. There was a lot of uncertainty with that job and that's why it was kind of really stressful too. I couldn't really park on campus because I don't want to pay for like a permit, and then I'd have to like park somewhere in IV and then rush to class and then rush to work, and yeah, it was crazy. Rushing and the stress just kind of gets to you. So it's like you can manage it, but it's like just not good for your mental health because there's so much like mental stress on you at all times, kind of like you don't get enough sleep. I didn't eat a lot last quarter. Like I would have to kind of just like on my way grab a sandwich from like 7-Eleven and like just like take it into the office and eat then and there. And just having to kind of rush eat and like rush everything was like not okay. You also have to like spend the money that you're making on just eating out all the time because you don't have money, you don't have time, I mean, to like cook or actually focus. I mean, I could have time if I sacrificed some of my sleep time, so it's like something always has to kind of give way. My parents are kind of really against me working and doing school because they're like something is gonna suffer. And I mean, it did kind of like last quarter, I kind of took on way too much. And the program coordinator thing was kind of like, they really, really needed me, so I did it, but I wouldn't really have wanted to do it. But then also my parents needed the money, so then it kind of just like came together. I wouldn't really want to have to work and do school just because it's like, just really hard. Like, I mean, if you want to actually make enough to be able to eat and pay rent, especially like here, like it's expensive. I feel like most schools, like just the general area around them is expensive. So it's like paying rent and all that kind of stuff just like really adds up. So it's like you don't really have much left over for other stuff. I mean, you can only work like so much like a week, like 20 hours is not going to make that much, especially on like minimum wage. They needed a program coordinator for the quarter. And then so I was getting paid to be the program coordinator. But it was kind of agreed that it was going to be just for the quarter and until they like find people to like replace me or whatever. I've been volunteering with SciTrek since I was like a freshman. So I'm just like, I told them I would continue kind of volunteering after. I mean, I just do that even if I'm not paid just because I get to like work with a professor and do research and stuff like that. And it's kind of just like a resume booster, I guess. So, and I just really like it. It's like sending out a good message. It's like telling kids to kind of just like stay, not only just like encouraging school and education, but also just like encouraging just like science and stuff like that. The internship is all the way in Oxnard, and so I have to drive like an hour down there and then an hour back every weekend. Yeah, and it's so it's kind of a pain, but that's also like I get an experience that I wouldn't be able to here in Santa Barbara because it's like a very specific program they have there, and they give you like a certificate, like a kind of like a certification thing after you have been like volunteering or whatever, interning for the year. So that's why it's worth it to me because I get like a specific kind of something from it. It might not be like money, but it's like at least like a certificate saying that I have, it's called like a pre-licensure like certificate. So I do it for that, and because I get to actually get like hands-on experience. Like I was in labor and delivery, and I got to like watch deliveries happen and like be there helping them, and even if I'm not getting paid for it, it's like an experience that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise. There is no like position like that does pay. Like the internship at the hospital, it's just like there's so much, like so many people that want it just for free. Like there's like a lot of competition in that kind of like health field in general. Like people would like kind of like I said, you don't get to just like watch that anywhere, like be there in the delivery room helping. It's like a give and take. I mean, it's worth it for me to just do it without the money. Because I mean, I know like a lot of other people would just take my place if they could, even without having to get paid for it. So I really need the experience because I know once I get into like grad school and stuff, it's like that's what's important is having some experience. But I mean, I feel like if if I already had like a degree and I already had like maybe even gone through grad school especially, like I would not really want to volunteer my time for free or whatever. It's like I have something now that I should get paid for. Dedicating 4 years right now, right after like a bachelor's to med school, it's like super expensive. Nurse practitioner, like the schooling is only like 2 years, so it's not as many years of like loans and debt. It's the kind of thing where like you really have to like want to be a doctor, because like you have to sacrifice kind of a lot, not just time but a lot of money. Like I actually like calculated it out and I was like, this is like a lot of debt. And I was like, I can't, like my family can't help at all and I just can't do it.